Recording? Yeah, it's super ugly. I'm about to drop my track. You'll thank me later. This is MC Turbo. I know a lot of you people don't want to hear the story. So, to accommodate all you motherfuckers, if you don't want to hear the story about how this shit kicked off, I'm gonna put like an annotation here that'll skip straight to the track in case you don't want to hear like a 15-20 minute video of how this whole shit kicked off. So if you want to skip to the track, I'm going to try and put it like right there, so if you click right there with your mouse, it'll skip to the track so you don't have to hear this bullshit, because even I don't want to hear this. I'm fucking boring myself talking about this. So if you want to skip through this, I don't blame you. I don't hate you Caucasians, but skip through this now. Peace. Alright, this is super ugly. If you haven't checked it right now, download Prick Flare. I'll put the link like down here or something. Basically, I want to put a little introduction to why I'm recording this track. I'm recording a track called You'll Thank Me Later, this and MC Turbo. This isn't just coming out of the blue because I'm bored or nothing. Right now I'm going to go through the whole story of how I know MC Turbo and how this whole beef happened. So I'm going to take you back to 2008. Someone, I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to name names, drop people in shit or whatever, but someone tells me on Messenger, this is before, Caucasian had Facebook or, Bebo or shit like that. Someone tells me, you're MC Turbo. I was like, no. And he's like, oh, check out his Bebo, he drops the fucking worst raps ever. So I checked out his Bebo. That fact was confirmed, he drops the worst raps ever, but it might be the sort of thing, where someone writes shit raps, but their style is like so fucking amazing that it cancels out that they write fucking really shit bars. So I checked out MC Turbo on Bebo. He writes fucking garbage, man. It's the equivalent of telling a fucking 5-year-old write nursery rhymes about the street and how they get down and shit like that. That sort of level. Started checking out some of his rhymes. A couple of people asked me to do a track dissing MC Turbo, which I did, even though I didn't know him, but I recorded a track about him for the simple fact I knew people who knew him from Beaufort School didn't like him, and he started rapping and he's absolutely terrible, so I done this diss track for them motherfuckers. So I dropped the diss track to Turbo. Didn't know it was me. Gets to a few months later, the same people are saying, oh, I wish I could hear, Turbo do tracks or whatever. So I said I'll start speaking to him and see what's up. So I started speaking to him on Messenger and shit like that. I said to him, I make beats, fucking hook up with me, I'll give you a CD with beats. If you want to use any, I'll record you using my beats. So I met up with him one day outside fucking Morrison's and shit. Met up with him one day on a Sunday. Gave him a CD full of beats. A few hours later he sends me a message saying my beats aren't street enough and hood enough for him. Which is fair enough. I'm not really into that street and hood type of shit, but he sends me a message saying my beats ain't street enough. Which is fair enough. But he's like, oh, would you help me make an album? And just through the merit of people asking me, I want to hear Turbo get on a beat because I know it's be so terrible, I agreed to make a CD for him. Let me take a few swigs of my energy drink. I agreed to make a CD for him. So from that point, me and him hooked up to do his album. Coming out the odds, Volume 1. If you've heard it, you know what an absolute fucking catastrophe it was. But I'll break down how that happened. At the time I was working nights. I was working 9 PM till 7 AM. But we agreed to meet up one day and record a few tracks for his album. So I meet up with him about 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Of course, I've been at work all night, so Caucasian's already tired and shit. Fucking meet up with him, he comes back to mine. This is when I was living with my uncle at the time. So comes back to mine. Now, if you know me from doing songs, when a Caucasian writes a 16 and shit, I just have odd, like, 2 bars, 4 bars here, and then I piece them all together. So as I was saying, dude comes around to mine. He's got like a, like ring binder you have at school, full of like, his lyrics separated into songs, into albums. So he's already got like 3 albums wrote. You got to bear in mind, I done this when I was like about 15, 16 or whatever. It's, what everyone does when they're first starting up or whatever. So he comes around, brings out this ring binder, like, he's got 15 songs that's going to be his first album. It's like, at that point I realised, Turbo don't actually realise he's awful. In his mind, he's fucking amazing. But he don't actually realise he's fucking terrible. So whatever. We start recording the first song. I might be mistaken about this, but I think the first song he recorded was Wifey. First track of his album. I think, don't quote me on that. So he records this shit. And first of all, Turbo don't understand what bars and choruses. So his songs are just a side of an A4 piece of paper, front and back. That's a song. There's no chorus, there's no breakdown, there's no hook. That's the song. So he does this song all in one go. Now you may think that's respectable, an MC dropping a whole track in one go without fucking up, but he fucked up loads. So it gets to the song being done. He fucks up loads. I ask him, oh, you fucked up a couple of times, want to re-record that over? Caucasian says no. So we don't want to record it over, even though he fucked up loads of times. But whatever. So, on that first day, we record about like 5 or 6 songs. I already told him, don't expect to take any songs away with you, because I've got to go to sleep and I've got to get up for work at fucking like, 7 o'clock or whatever. So he does like 5 or 6 songs, fucks up loads of them or whatever. He's like, oh, can you mix that quick so I can take a CD away with me? So the mix on them was like really insanely quick. If you listen to my songs, I would have spent time getting the volume of the verses like all completely the same. I didn't do that because I'd done it like really, really quick. He's happy with the songs. So, 5, 6 songs done straight away. He fucked up loads, it sounds terrible. That's not my fault, that's due to him. So, records the first song, fucks it up loads. Second time he comes around, he does all the other tracks for his album, so that was in 2 sessions. You may think that's fucking respectable, fucking an MC doing like 15 songs in fucking, 6 or 7 hours. He fucked up loads. But whatever, he was happy with it, so I put them all on beats, gave him a CD. He was the Caucasian telling me, he was selling a copy, get this, a copied CD, no writing on the CD, not saying this is Turbo's first album, no track listing or anything, selling a copied CD for £10 a CD. Nobody believes that shit. But whatever, if that's what happened in his fantasy world, let him live with that. So because I had all Turbo's verses recorded on my computer, I decided I would show him how much better his shit would sound if he broke shit up and incorporated choruses and hooks into his songs. So I made a mixtape for him not knowing about it till it was completely done. I made a mixtape of him, 15 track album I made in a 32 track mixtape. I told him when I gave him the mixtape, I'm doing you 1 copy. This CD has copy control on it. You cannot make copies of this on no PC. I'm just making this for you to realise, you know, you got to start writing shit in 16-bar verses, have space for a chorus, and it would sound a million times better like it does on this CD. Gave it to him. So what's the stupidest thing to do? Fucking say on the internet the next day you selling copies of this mixtape. So he's telling people he's selling copies of this mixtape. Obviously, he only has this one copy, and I put copy control on it. So the only way he's going to get more copies of that mixtape is through me. Bear that in mind. So he's telling people he's selling this mixtape. You know, makes up shit like his mixtape's selling well, he's making money off it. You know, fair dues, you're making money off music. You know, respect to you, my dude. You know, then it gets to the point, he's asking me, well, to the point, like, I know, he's only got one copy of the mixtape. And I know he can't copy it. So it's like, some of my friends are texting Turbo saying, I want to buy copies of your mixtape, knowing he can't give copies of it. Turbo always has an excuse why he can't give him a copy of his mixtape. Oh, I would come and meet you, you know, but I'm busy right now, or whatever. You know, whatever. Shit like that. So, where do I go next with the story? I don't know what to go with next. What come next? The Alex bit or the fucking him threatening me shit? Right, I get to the point of him threatening me. Right, so fucking he has no copies of the mixtape, he has no copies of, like, I gave him like about 30-40 copies of albums, he gave them away free to people. He's telling me he sold them like fucking 10 quid a CD, you know, whatever. So I'm at work one day, I'm getting texts off fucking Turbo one day asking if I could do more copies of his album. I say no, just for the simple fact, I know you be bringing me because you ain't got no much money because you spend that money on drugs. You're bringing me like 5-10 CDs at a time. And I know if I give you them, you'll be asking me next week, oh, can you do me like 5-10 more CDs? So I said no. So he's only got one copy of the mixtape. Telling people he's selling a mixtape and selling his album, you know, you can buy them both for a cheap price, whatever. And he's asking me to do copies of his mixtape and album for him. I say no, just for the simple fact I don't want to keep meeting up with him week by week when he wants more copies of his album and mixtape and shit. You know, Caucasian's busy. I ain't like you where I just sit on the dole, you know, fucking masturbate all day and then, you know, meet up with people whenever, you know, they got shit for me. I got work, you know, I got a girlfriend, I got shit I got to do. So one day he starts speaking to me on Messenger. He's like, oh, can I get some more copies of my mixtape? I was like, no. I was like, I ain't doing you no more copies of your mixtape. I was like, you can have copies of your album, but I'm not meeting you up to give CDs. I was like, you can get someone to copy you the CD you've already got, and you can sell the album as much as you want. I don't care. And he was like, I haven't got anyone to do that. Will you do that for me? I was like, no. So that's when he, you know, he starts getting like all threatening shit. My theory behind people getting threatening on the internet is like, if I approach you in a threatening manner, you have every right to be threatening back to me. If I'm telling you facts to your face and you get threatening to me, I just see it as a fucking joke. Like if I approach a Caucasian like, I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of you when I see you, and they approach me with the same manner, it's understandable. You know, he starts getting all threatening, like, oh, if you don't do copy this CD, you know I got people after you. I was like, oh really? And he's like, oh yeah, I got like fucking 10, 15 people after you. I was like, you know, I started getting all my cocky shit. I was like, oh, you got this many people after me? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I should really watch out now. He's like, yeah, you should. And I was like, statistically, if you got 15 people after me, one of them, and this is a true story, I'm not making this up or exaggerating it in any way. I said this right to him. It's like, statistically, you got 15 people after me. One of them is going to have a PC with a CD writer. You could do more copies of your album, so there is no issue here. What does he reply like? He replies, okay, I haven't really got people after you, but would you do me more copies of my album? I was like, you was just fucking threatening me fucking 2 minutes ago. So no. You know, Caucasian gets on his stupid shit or whatever. No, you know, fucking words are traded over Messenger. I don't really take them serious. So one day, I'm round my man Alex's flat. This one, he used to live on Cromwell Street. We think, you know, me and my Caucasians, we got a drink on. You know, Dean was there, Caucasians getting a drink on. We all think, right, we'll invite Turbo around here. You know how, you know, Caucasians get drinking and they, you know, randomly invite people around. We invite Turbo around to Alex's flat. Originally the plot was, Dean was pretending he wanted weed, like a temp. He didn't want it. We was just seeing if we could get Turbo around. So we ring Turbo. This is me on the phone. This is after he said he would kick my ass next time he see me. We get Turbo on the phone. I spoke to him first. Dean spoke to him afterwards. He come around Alex's flat. Come around Alex's flat like 20 minutes later. You know, sits on a sofa or whatever. He's like, oh yeah, you guys after weed? I'm gonna sort that out for you. Rings like 2 people, couldn't sort out any weed. So we're just like, oh yeah, you might as well chill here. And this is a point I got to bring up beforehand. There was a pint that was on the table. It was half full of cider. It had been out for 2 or 3 weeks. You know, people been spitting on it. Every time someone come around Alex's, people were spitting in it. I think someone even pissed in it. And it was left on the table. Caucasians even tried that funny shit with me. Like, oh, you drinking this pint when I come round? It's like, I don't trust you motherfuckers. I ain't drinking this pint. But this pint was left on the table. It was off the Turbo when he come round. Turbo drank it. That is no exaggeration. I promise that is the truth. Turbo drank it, but whatever. I'm not going to make jokes about Turbo drinking piss in someone else's house. But Turbo comes round. Can't sort out the weed. Obviously, it's a bit funny if you ring someone round, trying to get them to sort out weed, but you still want them to stay there when they don't sort out anything. You know, people acting funny right in front of his face. You know, Dean got out a fucking deodorant can at one point, spraying in the air like, oh, ever since Mike come in here, it fucking stinks in here. You know, asking Mike, what kind of deodorant do you use? How many times a day do you use deodorant? Playing a Caucasian right in front of his face. And this is like a small room. If you've seen the flats down Cromwell Street, they're like, what, 12 foot by 12 foot? They're not that big rooms. You know, 4 or 5 Caucasians in one room. You haven't got as much space to be by yourself. So people were just taking a piss out of Turbo all day, all the time he was there. And it got to a point, say like about an hour and a half after Turbo arrived. We're all sitting by the window shouting at people outside. We've completely ignored Turbo at this point. All taking a piss out of him. But we've all ignored him at this point. We're just looking out the window shouting at people outside. One point, Turbo just steps up and he's by the door and he tells Alex, because Alex was saying at the time, he was DJing Liquid, and we were saying to Turbo, if you brought me your CD last week, I would have played it in Liquid when I was playing there last night. Turbo's believing this shit. So Turbo goes to the door, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get Alex a copy of my album, I'll be right back. Fucking runs away. So we're thinking, he's not coming back. You know, he's had the shit ripped out of him for the past 2-3 hours. He ain't gonna come back. So we're standing by the window, looking out the window. This is the top floor of Cromwell Street, so it's only a few meters up above the floor. We see him walking down the street, like 2 minutes later. Same time, Dean gets a ring, he gets a text off Turbo, saying, I'm not coming back round because I'm being sick of that drink I had earlier. It's like, we ring him. It's like, you do realise we can see you outside walking up the street. He's like, no, it's not me. It's like, we can see you on the phone talking to us on the same street Alex's flat is up, and you're walking past. I know what he was trying to do. This is the time he was working, he was living at Mandela House down Southgate Street, I think it is. So he's obviously trying to cut through the park to go up that way. He didn't want to go around town the long way. But we could see him outside. It wasn't like, Caucasian trying to hide behind a car or a building or something. We could see him walking up the street. So we see him walking past. He walks up the street. We're speaking to him on the phone simultaneously. But whatever, he walks the other way. I hear nothing of him. A few hours later, 2-3 hours later, this is like fucking midnight, 1 o'clock or morning or whatever. Dean gets a text from Turbo saying, oh, you still want me to sort out that weed? Dean was just ready to text him saying, fuck you or whatever. I said to Dean, you know what would piss off Turbo the most? I was like, you text him saying you got like an ounce of weed off somebody and we're all smoking it right now. So he does that. Turbo asked Dean, is it alright if I get like an eighth off you? And I said to Dean, text Turbo saying, no, you come round, you couldn't sort out any weed. So we got some through our own contacts, so basically forget you, man. So he texted Turbo saying that. Turbo got really funny with us. He was like, well, I'm in my, I was in my room right now at my Mandela House. I got like 50, 60 people with you, and we're all coming down there right now to kick the shit out of all three of you. We're all laughing because, basically Turbo or whatever, we said, fucking come down. Come down. You know where we are. Ain't like we're going to hide out. Come down. Obviously nothing gets done that night. So whatever, fucking Turbo gets funny about that. I get speaking to Turbo one day on Messenger, a couple months later. He's acting all cool and shit. I won't act like Caucasian's bugging or nothing. But he's like, add me on Facebook. So I added him on Facebook. And then it was like, a few weeks later, he wrote a status saying something like, he's saying all his accomplishments in music. First of all, you have no accomplishments in music, but saying all his achievements in music. Saying like, I had an album out, but this kid completely fucked it up who I was working with, i.e. me. He's saying, oh, this guy completely fucked it up. So I sent him a message like, if I completely fucked it up, why have I got like 5 or 6 texts from you on different occasions asking for more copies of your album? He deleted me off Facebook through that. Now you think, Caucasian deletes you off Facebook, that's it, don't have no contact with him. Turbo deleted me off Facebook for saying like, if your album was shit and I fucked it up, why are you asking for more copies? He texted me, like 5-10 minutes after that, asking if I'd help him make a music video. I said, no, why should I? Because I'm getting the blame. Your album didn't sell. So if I make a video for you and it goes on YouTube and it don't get 1 million views, I'm gonna get blamed for that. So I said, no, forget it. So that basically brings up the whole thing. The reason I recorded this diss track you're gonna hear now is because Turbo keeps bringing up this whole situation. It's like when he had his old YouTube account, me and him had a freestyle over Still Dre beat. He's telling people, oh, check out this, Still Dre freestyle I had, whatever. It's me and him. It was like a 6.5 minute video. He's just using that as an excuse to talk shit about me. So he's like showing people the video, and then he's like saying to people, how the other guy in the video is a fucking prick, and I'm scared to meet up with him. Turbo, even though you're saying I'm scared to meet up with you, I've seen you about plenty of times. I even invited you to Alex's flat after you said I'm scared to meet up with you, and you came and didn't speak to anyone and you ran out. But I'm scared. So he's just using that excuse to talk shit about me. To this day, you need to realise, Turbo, that was 2009. January 2009. It's now November 2012. That's nearly fucking 4 years ago. You're still going on about it. I just find it funny, like, I'm meeting up with random people and they're talking, they're telling all them, random MC Turbo tales. So I'm telling mine. No, Caucasians have no idea what the fuck I'm going on about. But Turbo, this track I'm presenting to you right now, you'll thank me later. It's not really a diss track. It's just, I'm going to explain everything that's wrong with you. Everything that's wrong with you as an artist, as a father, and as a man. So I hope you open your eyes, realize after that, maybe I am fucked up. Maybe I am, maybe it's time I change. So here it is. You'll thank me later. 180 bars. I didn't really want to do this. I'm not really, like I said in the first place, I don't really want to do this like, in the fact like, everyone's dropping Turbo diss tracks, fucking S. Dot and Matchwick and all them mans out in Treadwell or whatever. I'm not doing it just for the simple fact I want to do it. I'm doing it because there's history of me doing it. Because I know you fucking personally. I know you when you lived in Matson and we was cool, man. You fucking, you need to realise. Ask yourself, I recorded your first album. Why haven't I done a second album with you? It's because after we done that first one, someone showed me that citizen shit of you fucking robbing people's phones and wallets in the library. Of course I ain't gonna have you in my house after that. Fucking crazy, Caucasian. So yeah, it's enough of me talking. Much respect to people who's, listen to this shit for fucking 20 minutes if they want to know history or whatever. So here it is. You'll thank me later. SuperUgly. Download Prick Flare. I'm gonna try and put annotation there so you can download that shit. Yeah. Fuck Turbo. Hey, tell everybody how you was texting me asking if I hook you up with girls who'd have sex with you during the night. I ain't gonna say no. I can bring up so much shit about you. It's unbelievable, man. So I hope you respond to this track just so I can record a fucking part 2. I got so much shit on you, man. It's unbelievable. I recorded 180 bars about you. It took no effort at all. As soon as the pen hit the pad, it wrote itself. Bitch ass Caucasian. You ain't hurt nobody. I could have, stood here for 20 minutes, talk about you going to Jeremy Carr and talk about hitting women and shit like that. How Jeremy Carr said you a bitch for fucking only hitting women. But that ain't me. I would speak facts for your ass. So that's all I gotta say. SuperUgly. You'll thank me later. Check this out. Drinking my fucking energy drink. Air Miles, bitch. Yeah, I'll do.
just dropped my album, but it's back to business. Turbo, don't wanna be the one to attack your image, but you on your own managed to collapse your bridges amongst rats and snitches who dreams of rags to riches. I'm from Abermead, I won't front like a kill for sport, but those slipping will get caught. R.I.P. to your lost ones, I know you feel remorse, so while I'm here, I'll say rest in peace, Ryan Knight and Will McNaught. We hooked up, maybe the outcome was fate. You had an album to make in late 2008. You reminded me of me, a rapper just looking for a chance. That this track I did, I was willing to pull it in the past. Looking back, I don't know, what was I thinking, honest? But there was a strange aura around you, I couldn't put my finger on it. You thought you was hot, like go melt the scene. All I saw was a little boy with low self-esteem. For helping you, people said Pete was out his mind. After our first meeting, I could already count the lies. Kept it real Caucasian, I never told you crap. I always told you facts, coming at you large. How old is that? I'm trying to get known, the whole effing show. You still badmouth me, damn Turbo, let it go. You trapped in a man's body, but ain't grown up yet. But I finally realised the reason why Mike's so upset. I hear all the slander, my name bashing to Kimberly. Michael, have you finally had your epiphany? I'm someone you look up to. It hurt when I said, look, fuck you. But for this, you'll thank me later, because nobody put you on tracks before me. So while I bask in glory, you didn't have a category. How did you have support from all the people? You only wrote rhymes on the wall on Bebo. Check out Brick Flair, free album, you can hate it. You made one CD in 8 years, how can you be called the greatest? I used to be the one you call for favors. I got love for my mates and peeps, never fought with neighbors. Now I'm making movies to make a business orchestrated. Well, I know your next move before you make it. Sitting in the corner wasted, talking anus. People don't support a nameless, wanting that fortune famous. You said you big in the game, and that's proper lunacy. Every time you had a chance, you blew the opportunity. You went on Stride FM, had the ball in your court, rugby pass, but have never been invited back, you must be ass. Watching the video, you must confess you suck, because even reading your lyrics you couldn't do 8 bars without messing up. Writing on Urban Musicals, MySpace seems so stupid, because you're the only MC on that roster team with no music. You held a knife to CJ, no meat gashes. Now I understand why both are using those special needs classes. I once saw people with disabilities, so won't hate them, but Turbo, some of your lyrics don't make sense. You wrote run rap, this brother's like a frisbee, keeps coming back, but Turbo, frisbees don't come back. In the Sun Young Gloucestershire, he said, you go on a 2-week residential for 2.5 days, but oh my days. I won't talk about the times you mumble and lame, but how the fuck can you go on a 2-week trip for a couple of days? What makes you think the other MCs mutter your name? You said Daniel was the only GC rapper you liked, sucking up to Dange. That's fucking strange, cause you on a different basis. I heard you send your album to GFM, how come they didn't play it? Saying he makes money off music, what a cheap plea. Turbo, nobody gave you £10 for a copy CD. Dinner time, let's set the table, next neglected fable. He said he signed to Banners Records, a respected label. Name will flood our streets, Turbo over our beats. Well, tell everyone what happened between you and Mark G. I won't reveal it, don't panic in a moody tone. It's funny because you told K-Kid you done an album in a real studio. Told him how it goes down, original shit, his own sound. Turbo wants to upload it online, but he doesn't know how. Okay, cut the bullshit, Mike, I'm gonna be honest. Listen, your music won't sell because it's a constant contradiction. Let me use some examples so I can back this plan up. You talk increase the peace, but friends and stab mans up. Who remembers Wifey? Do you consider that hot tune? In a love song rapping about suicide, imagine that on the box soon. Love is hard for you to find, I would admit the plot's true, because you hassle girls on Facebook, that's why they block you. I don't want respect from people when a Caucasian write this, but name 5 people you've ever had a fight with. You spend your dole on drugs every week, that's why you're quite slim, and smoking that crack has permanently damaged your white skin. He's gonna say don't do cracks, don't believe that's true. And how come you used to smoke it with T. Matthews? Tammy cleaned up her act, disrespect you show her monthly, because it's been over 5 years and you still owe her money. You know it, buddy, no wonder your street rap is low, because you hide away instead of paying off every debt you owe. Turbo thinks, yes I know, I'll become a drug pusher, telling people you sell coke, motherfucker that's just sugar. But whatever, it's your business, neither here nor there, because you had to leave Gloucester, cause I hear you're scared. Right now over your music career, I'm playing God, but answer me this one question, why are you too good for a paying job? I mean, some jobs are hard, low money ain't worth shit, but I heard why you left DHL from a person you work with. Remember that manager's office, people complaining they think you smell? I'm lying, right? Well, does Stephen Hodges ring a bell? 2007, the description, the image I have is picturesque. Turbo every break asking them for cigarettes. They kept telling you no, but you kept appearing strange. They even took the piss out of you while you was in hearing range. Mike, why would I lie? What sort of challenge is that? You was acting humble that time and Alex is flat. You got angry at me talking shit over a website is easy. Said I was gonna get hurt next time you see me. How was you ghetto street? You was mellow sweet. tweet saying hello Pete, showing me all of your yellow teeth. Dean said you stink to your face, you hope this ain't true. You didn't say nothing, you was a joke in the same room. Okay, let's change the subject while you took a breather. Chat up underage girls on Facebook, he's eager. Exie used to push a beater for the fact you were a woman beater. She said your son's life you wouldn't feature. That's probably why you and drugs got a stronger friendship. Life is going nowhere, so you long to end it. But I blame drugs for making common sense slip. If you admit to hitting women on TV, gotta deal with the consequences. Those four walls you look at all day know your place. Certain parts of Gloucester you afraid to show your face. You make up stories bragging about all your bogus claims. It's ironic you go turbo but your life is in the slowest pace. Maybe now you MC Amazing, got real off-hook sound, but can't show your talent in areas you're not shook, clown. We got off the wrong foot now. I said that Still Dre freestyle had content you didn't know, and that's why the video got took down. Homie chill, you funny still with no network. Ain't respected nowhere from Coney Hill and Treadworth. The haters make your bones chill, better check your head jerk. You won't do nothing, he only will say I'm gonna get hurt. Got your cards pulled, and that's thanks to S-Dot. You keep mouthing to him, no gasp if you get stomped. Even Matt Trick got on the net and spaz quick. You've been murdered twice this year, let's make it a hat trick. Turbo, you chat shit, you won't throw punch forced. Is hating on your rivals really worth your life being cut short? What was Sophie thinking? Tell me what the hunt for. You're not even around to watch your son walk. You should pass knowledge down till kingdom come. Is getting stoned really better than buying things for your son? Getting bread you won't give him a crumb. Is providing a better life for him than you had by working for a living dumb. All the fathers listen to this, let's discuss please. As soon to be father myself, your actions fucking disgust me. Death to anyone who hurts my little girl has a plot to harm her. You wished your son died, man what a father. Said he didn't believe it was his, man what a charmer. You got bad things coming your way, you can't block with armor. You a little boy talking like a Gloucester farmer. See your daddy was a bad man and now you got the karma. You tried to follow his footsteps but that ain't your life. Walk a mile in his shoes but his boots ain't your size. And now your son has to go through the same things you go through. Because you was a lost little boy, daddy didn't want to know you. Now you admitting to hitting women for millions to see. The papers write your tales, you an assist and a thief. Your actions in the past means you can't even be a civilian in peace. So I hope the room is cold in the building when you sleep. Turbo, killing you wasn't a name on my hit list. I was letting you live, you bring up my name, you did this. I hope everyone now sees you a lame from a distance. Can't even look after your seed, now please explain your existence. I have control over you, so the question I get asked a lot: why didn't I release your songs to make you a laughing stock? Because as a man in life, sometimes you make rules. Some people have it harder than me, I don't want to break fools. It's good you have dreams to have brands in your hand, but sometimes you need to wake up from that fantasy land. You say everyone hates you like boohoo and what? Your TV appearances available for the world on YouTube to watch. Now you use that as a crutch to make people feel sorry. You had sex with one girl you considered a real hottie. That relationship you two produced an offspring. I mean, what king can't even count how many gifts you got him? You were responsible for your mistakes, you don't show you care. Beat her up and then say you want her back, I'm sure you told her bear. Let me take in loads of air. Jeremy Carl said it best: be a man, stop being a woman, look after your son and grow a pair. Trust me, I'm not mad. Like I said, you ain't gonna say fuck me after this. You're gonna thank me. It's okay, you can thank me later. I hope you now opened your eyes, motherfucker. And Turbo, I know you get really defensive about the crack thing. I never said you were a crackhead. Other people may say that. I'm not saying you're a crackhead. You're not a crackhead, but you have smoked crack. I know that for a fact. You have smoked crack. See, the man thing to do would be like, oh yeah, I smoke crack, you know, I tried it once, it wasn't really my sort of thing, so, you know, I just did it that once. It'd be fair enough then. You know, fair play to you, my dude, for having the willpower to say no. But you get all defensive, that made me think you're still on it. Maybe that explains all the stealing. But whatever. Thank me later. Yeah! How's your second CD coming along, you bitch? Of course I ain't gonna have you back in my house after I read in the fucking Citizen you stealing shit. Oh, fucking idiot. You'll thank me later.